Here we are at Borehamwood, ready to start section 16 of the London Outer Orbital Path to Cockfosters, about 11 miles of undulating countryside. It does forecast heavy rain, so we might only get as far as High Barnet if the rain's particularly heavy. There's a jumping off point there, so we shall see. Let's go. Just climbing out of Borehamwood through the back streets on the alternative London loop, and we come across Wordsworth Gardens. Very pretty little green space, and suddenly we find ourselves in this nice open space, Woodcock Hill Village Green, just above Borehamwood, on our way to join the loop proper. Apparently Taylor Wimpey want to buy this land to build yet more houses. I wonder what's in here that they want to keep out with a barrier as big as this. Just about to go into Scratchwood. Sure, there's a services on the M1 called Scratchwood. Maybe wrong. So here we have the A1, and we have to walk down this for a mile to get across. How much would a bridge have cost, eh? Oh well, here goes. So that's where we need to be, but there's no way we're going to get across this road now, so we've got to walk down to find an underpass. And here we are, leaving the A1 and walking back into the countryside. So for the next 4 miles the loop follows the Dollis Valley Green Walk, which actually goes into London and stops at Hampstead Heath. That looks a good walk for a future visit, but for now I think we'll stick to the loop. And back into the woods. And apparently this unassuming little pond is the source of the Dollis, which heads from here down to the River Brent, and then, as we know from our canal touring, ultimately to the Thames at Brentford. And so we come to Totteridge Fields, which apparently is a fine example of ancient grasslands on London clay, kept this way to support a large number of rare plants and insects. So this is what hay fields used to look like. The infant Dollis trickling its way towards Hampstead and London. Okay. Out of that field, and here are the houses coming into view of Barnet. And here we are into more urban walking, just on the outskirts of Barnet now. Just walking through the car park of the Barnet Table Tennis Centre. And shortly we'll be leaving the Dollis Green Walk and heading back up on the loop out of town again. So bye bye Dollis Valley Green Walk. We will see you again one day. And up we go towards the streets of Barnet on the loop. So here we are in Barnet. And the weather's kept off for now, so we're going to press on, pick up a sandwich somewhere and crack on to Cockfosters to complete this segment. Fingers crossed that's the right decision. We shall see. And it's a meal deal for lunch today. Right, heading out of Barnet, over these lovely fields, back to the countryside and up high, I think. Fine North London residential street. These lovely houses with their bay windows. Reminds me of a kid in New Southgate. Just walking into King George's Field, bought by the council in the 1930s apparently to commemorate the reign of King George. Here we are in Monken, Hadley, which is an absolutely charming village. There's the manor house. Yes, he really did live there for a while at least. And here's the 15th century church. What a pity you only get to live here if you've got a few million in the bank. But anyone with an Oyster card and a set of legs can come and enjoy it for a little while. Nice spot for lunch. And now the final push to Cockfosters. Just going over the East Coast main line. Hadley Wood, I think, was the site of a major rail crash some years ago. the beginning of the Pimsbrook Trail, which goes through Arnos Park, which was my old stamping ground as a kid in New Southgate, when we used to spend the summer there with my granddad and my grandma. So that's another walk for the diary. For now, the loop carries on in this direction. And here's Jack's Lake, just a few feet off the loop. So worth the little detour. And here we are still in this woodland wilderness. Oh no, we're not. There's houses over there. And finally the loop gives up the forest and emerges into the outer suburb of Cockfosters with some of those grand houses again. And that's the end of our walk. We'll just head down to the station now. So, here we are, just walking down to the tube station in Cockfosters, where this section ends. So we'll be back here a bit later in the year to finish the walk to Rainham. What a fantastic walk today's been. Glorious once more. Lovely fields, lovely views, those fantastic woods. Hope you join me next time. Until then, bye for now. Just as a postscript, we've come a couple of stops down the Piccadilly line, and here's the Pimsbrook Trail again in Arnos Park. And hasn't the brook grown? Quite a little river now from that little trickle we were walking past. And the relevance of Arnos Park is this is where I used to come every summer when we used to stay with my granddad and my grandma, who lived in New Southgate. Many a happy afternoon spent playing in this park. They've turned the putting green into a children's playground. Oh well. And that's where we used to get the putters from. Can't remember the toilet. Maybe it was the one along.